I'm ready on time. I'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. So immediately right off the bat, you'll see that I am simplifying this like 2-controller situation by just simply carrying Dale. And this isn't something that's sort of a convenience of 1-player 2 controllers. It's actually like very lag reducing. This is like I guess a very late NES title. I mean, it's a sequel to Rescue Rangers 1 that you just saw. So having as few objects, like Chip carrying Dale, counts as having fewer objects. And so it saves a lot of time and lag. One thing you have seen me do a little bit is throwing Dale, and this is something very specific to Rescue Rangers 2 that makes the co-op run significantly faster than the 1-player run. And now we're coming to the first boss. It's a water rabbit. Very random boss. And what I want to do is I want to be whoa. I want to be throwing Dale into the water rabbit. Unfortunately, I'm getting some pretty bad luck here, including dying earlier, but that was my fault. Oh man. Alright. I'm low on lives, so maybe I'll slow down a little bit. The whole idea behind throwing Dale, it's a charged throw that's caused by you running continuously for about half a second, like 30 frames, as they say. I'm low on lives, so I'm not going to do this upcoming death abuse. And that speeds up the fight significantly. And what the charge throw does, it basically means that for that boss, you can just ignore the projectiles that the game gives you and just go immediately to throwing Dale. So even though the game is laggier because of the presence of 2 players, it becomes significantly sped up by having this extra throwing ability. So right here, I'm supposed to be picking up these stone blocks or whatever, but I'm just going to do 3 charge throws into this boss. Oh boy. Wow, I game overed. I think I'm just going to take a game over here. This is a good start. Unfortunately, I got bad luck with extra lives as well. Oh man. Alright, we're off to a good start for this run. Alright, I'll start that from the beginning of this level. Yeah, just extremely bad luck with like having died earlier, that was my fault, and then somehow dying on that boss, which should never happen. Alright, you'll see this death abuse here. And the whole point of death abuse is that these Chip and Dale come back in these balloons, and sometimes it's just like, okay, I can get Chip to be on the right side of the screen in order for him to enter the loading zone a little bit quicker, but sometimes it really does skip significant parts of the level, whether it's some cycle or some like some platform cycle or some auto scroller type thing. Alright, so this is hopefully how the boss should go, which is I just do 3 charge throws into the boss. Yeah, somehow like when the game's like really laggy, you can't pick up your partner, so messing up that strat a little bit can completely screw up the fight, as you just saw. And so right now Chip has 1 life and Dale has 2 lives, and really the only way, or only convenient way of getting extra lives is by playing that bonus game. Since this is a speedrun, you know, you want to throw up those balls as quickly as possible. And a lot of the times the 1-up and the 2-up does coincide with you throwing as quickly as possible. But exactly who gets which life is kind of random, so that screws up the timing a little bit. There are something like, I don't know, I want to say something like 12 different death abuses that you can do throughout the run, RTA. So getting those extra lives is really important, and sometimes just out of your control. Alright, this is a neat little strat here. The middle platform is just long enough for you to do your charge, but perhaps more importantly, you'll hear me pause the game, and that just allows me to buffer the turnaround. You know, since these are NES controllers, it's hard to sort of turn around perfectly. So the pause buffer just allows me to quickly switch directions without losing any of my charging time, my 30 frame charge up. This is just a simple level. Not much to really say about this. Sort of my complaint about Rescue Rangers 1 and 2 is that it's not always obvious what's a platform. So some of these places, like one of the platforms I jumped off of was not known to be a platform in like any tool-assisted run for this game. But it does save a little bit of time. This is the ideal situation where one character gets one up and the other gets 2 ups. Most of the time you're going to be doing death abuses with Chip, just because Chip is the first player, so like Dale goes on ahead. But every once in a while you do need to take death abuse with Dale. Alright, what's coming up is possibly one of the hardest strats, is to get 2 hits on this boss before it starts attacking. I got right there. Essentially getting that 1 extra hit, the boss has 7 health, so getting that extra hit is really, really important for getting quick attack there. You don't need to do it, but there are certain patterns that just become significantly easier to one cycle if you're able to do that. And some of them, it's not possible without that extra hit. So I got one of the nicer patterns, but it's still nice to have that. This whole time, so there's, like, you press B to advance text. You press B to, like, speed up the text, and you also press B to advance to the next text box. So I'm using 2 controllers, so I'm holding B on one controller and then mashing B on the other controller, which is a little bit weird, I guess. Clock Tower is a little bit of an awkward level because of all these moving platforms, and it's really easy to die. But it does have this nice death abuse coming up here. I'm going to throw Dale up while scrolling the screen, so Chip dies. Really, you can only control left and right while they're in their balloon form. I didn't get a good pattern here. That's okay. Really bad luck here. Can't really control except left and right for whatchamacallit. Oh, what the heck. Getting all the bad luck right now. Alright, fine. Can't really control left and right. You can only... Oh, sorry, that's the only thing you can really control. Alright, they should each have 4 lives now. So there's like a little bit of things that you can do to control where Chip and Dale spawn. So if you're standing still, your partner will spawn at the top of the screen, and if not, they'll spawn from the bottom of the screen. What the heck? Just like small things like that. This minecart section is harder than it looks. First off, where Dale spawns is actually like to the right of the lever that you use to move the switch. That's not really a big deal. What's sort of annoying is these jumps that are coming up. You do need to control both characters or else they'll fall off. And they always put like something like a ball or like a boulder right after one of these drops. I didn't mention these Rescue Ranger emblems. I'm gonna take a little bit of a Death Abuse here. For some reason, that caused that boulder to fall a little bit quicker. Yeah, these Rescue Ranger emblems, it's a common thing to avoid them. Each of them costs like something like 4 frames if you touch them. You want to minimize who between the two characters has more. Sometimes it's not really that simple to do. And I'm getting a pretty bad pattern here. There can only be one card on the screen that you can throw back at the at this magic hat. Wow. Nice hitbox. This is horrendous. Okay. That boss is probably the worst boss in the entire game. Yes, you can throw up in that game, but you just saw me whiff. Yeah, so in this level select, there are just like 3 levels with very random bosses. Alright, this Death Abuse here saves waiting for that platform on the left to drop down. That's probably like a couple seconds, like maybe 5 or 6 seconds. There are more Death Abuses that you can take, but I'm going to play a little bit safe because they only save like a second each. So I'm only going to try to go for some of the more important ones. Alright, so now this is Lizard Boss. It's basically just like, you know, you just have to wait and hope you get good luck. And like the previous fight, there can only be one throwable object on screen at once, so I need to make sure I get rid of it as soon as possible, in case the lizard gives me like a quick drop. But sometimes I know that lizard's not going to give me a quick drop, so I'm going to try to carry Chip in order to, I didn't throw it quickly enough, in order to reduce lag. If you're holding Chip like while it's dropping, let's see if there's, yeah, like something like this, it actually is like reduces enough lag, like about 1/3 of a second in lag. Okay, I got that one at least. Got like 2 quick drops, got that one. I actually like the part where Dale's low on health, such that like next hit you die. For me, that's just like way easier to get the quick drop. Alright, that's fine. So as you can see in this countdown, like Chip is like the bottleneck there. Now we're coming up onto the last stage. This is like the only stage where you don't have Chip immediately carrying Dale at the beginning of each room, just because I need to hit that switch there to reverse the directions of the conveyor belt. Bad luck on that enemy. That's like a weird enemy. I don't know why, but it's one where you, like, once you start this level, you cannot manipulate it, which is different from like literally every other enemy with randomness in this entire game. Alright, so once again, another room like this. If you hold the box and you crouch and you hide in it, you can throw it 1 tile lower than you normally do. So you need to do that in order to hit that switch. At this point, the whoops! Wow, I'm stupid. At this point, emblems don't matter. So I'm just picking them up freely because the way that we stop time is on the last and the final boss, not on the countdown for the last stage. So we just pick up like all these, doesn't matter. Now we're coming up onto Robo Fat Cat. This boss takes like multiple minutes if you're playing solo, just because you need to wait for Fat Cat to drop bombs and whatnot. But this fight is really quick. Time's coming up soon, so 5 hits. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Time. So that fight lasts literally like 10 seconds compared to multiple minutes. Yeah, another bonus game even though the game's over.
GG, GG.